Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this podversation. And as most of you already know, Carlee Russell, she came out and quote unquote apologized, admitted that she was never kidnapped. And as the details of everything started coming out, most people already came to that conclusion. Now, what I want to talk about is going back to the Today Show interview that her parents did, and then coupling that on the heels of the news that she went to Atlanta to celebrate her birthday. Listen, I don't get any of that, but when you see the life that she was able to live, which a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do, it to me seems that the family was extremely enabling of her. She was pretty much spoiled, and it's just, it's a sad situation to see. I did previous conversations where I discussed not giving excuses for why she did what she did, because there is no excuse. But the fact that I felt that she did this to get the attention of a man, and she had no idea that it was going to get the attention that it did, because she really didn't think that even if the parents contacted local authorities that it was going to spread across the country. Look, I don't know what her thoughts were when she decided to make the phone call to the police to report that a white toddler was strolling down the side of the highway in the dark. Like, none of that makes sense at all. It doesn't make sense to do anything that she did. But here's one thing that I want to say before I just go into the rest of my commentary. I believe most females, not all, but I believe most females at the age that she's at, if you have been involved with somebody and things aren't going the way that you would hope that they would, most people are still extremely immature at that age. I know that there are some people who are in their mid-20s and they have families already and they're living the lives of adults. That doesn't mean that you are fully mature. And if you have some other issues, whether it's upbringing, the way you were raised, I'm assuming she was brought up in the church, because I believe they said that her parents are possibly either working in a church. I don't know if her mom or dad is a pastor, something along those lines. Let me know in the comment section if you know, because I just can't recall at the moment. She led this life of privileged and being protected. And now with all of this stuff going on and being involved with a guy that I'm just thinking, I don't know, this could have been like the first guy that she was extremely heavily involved with, possibly even just going to go there, being beautifully honest, possibly could have taken her virginity. A lot of females can relate to the fact that if something isn't going right, you have a moment where you are extremely angry and fed up with the guy, and you're in your mind thinking of doing something drastic. Most people don't do it, but there are some people that actually act those things out. But if you don't have somebody there that you can really speak to, like a really, really good close friend that you can speak to kind of talk you off of the ledge, so to speak, you may go and, like Jasmine Sullivan saying, I bust the windows out your car. That's a real thing. A lot of females have done that. Listen, I'm not here condoning her behavior, so please don't think that I'm doing that. But I want to explain that I do believe that there is a psychosis that a lot of females, because we as females tend to be a bit more emotionally charged, and that's not a knock against us. It's just a real statement, just like only females can have babies because there are just a lot of hormonal things that go on within us. Yeah, men can be emotional, but most women are more emotionally charged than men are. And so sometimes we may have those thoughts of really wanting to express how we're feeling emotionally in a physical manner that may not be ethical, may not be wise, and definitely may not be legal, depending on what those crazy thoughts are that go through your mind. So it sounds like she didn't really have anybody to turn to really speak to talk her off of the proverbial ledge, because I don't feel that her parents were people that she could really go to confide in, but they definitely were there to cover her, somewhat protect her, and definitely give her a life of privilege, probably a life that they were never able to live. If you see the pictures of her home, they definitely were living really well. I heard that the area that she lived in, before a lot of the news came out, that the area she lived in Alabama, Hoover, was a very, very nice area. Okay. And I don't know if the parents are going to be able to stay there. It's possible that it may kind of force them to sell and get out of the area. I don't think it's fair for them to have to uproot their lives to get out of there. But like I said before, and I'm just going to reiterate it, I do believe that what they did by going on the Today Show was wrong. They should not have come out there and make that statement. And they really didn't know all of the facts yet. It's a crazy situation. But now she's come out to say that, yeah, it all was a lie. It all was a hoax. But a lot of females, they have gotten to the point where they just needed a break and needed to get away. And you get away. You don't let anybody know. You might go and get a hotel room, an Airbnb now. Many years ago, they didn't have Airbnbs, but a lot of older women may be able to attest to the fact that, yeah, I had to get away. I just reserved a room, just held up in there, got me some takeout. A lot of women can attest to that. But most of us have never contacted the police to say that they saw this wandering child on the side of the highway or anything like that. That part I still don't get. So I do believe that there is some psychosis there in some way, shape, or form, not giving excuses for it. But I did see a video of, I believe it was her uncle, who was talking about her mental health and talking about the fact that she was supposed to be on meds and the parents were enabling her and they were not keeping her medicated like they should. Yeah, she may have been a nursing school student. That doesn't mean that people who are in higher education and they're reaching towards goals of becoming something in a professional manner, that they are without mental health struggles and issues. That definitely, some of the smartest people in history have had some real mental health issues. It doesn't mean that you're smart. You're not smart. It doesn't mean that you have a mental retardation. It just means that you have some other mental health struggles going on. And it sounds like she definitely did too. So the boyfriend is speaking out and he's saying that he's disgusted with her for lying about seeing the toddler and being kidnapped. Again, I don't know why she thought it would be a good idea to contact the authorities. She definitely messed up there. And I believe that if she never did that, we wouldn't even really be talking about her right now. I'm not saying that the parents may not have contacted the authorities to say that she was missing if she didn't reach out to contact her parents to say, hey, I'm just going to get away for a few days. I'm going through some stuff. I just want you to know that I'm okay. If she didn't give them any warning and they're used to her coming home at a certain time and then she just doesn't show up and they can't reach her, then yeah, they may contact authorities. But if she didn't say that she was kidnapped, and definitely if she did not report this child being missing, then we all would not be talking about this right now. And now she's going to face the consequences of it because she possibly may get some jail time. And who knows? I don't know. I talked about Sherry Papini, who was just one example of someone who does not look like Carlee Russell that did something similar and has had to serve some jail time and pay an extremely hefty fine for the work that was put in to find her. But it's also being reported that they don't intend on giving back any of the money that was given for the search efforts. I don't understand why they're not planning on refunding the donations. So people who donated, they might want to go ahead and contact their credit card companies and file a dispute, because I can guarantee you the credit card company, they'll give you your money back, and you just have to report it as fraud. And not saying fraud that you didn't use it, but just saying that I found out that what I intended to give money for was a fraudulent situation. So the credit card company will give you your money back. You don't have to worry about GoFundMe giving you a refund. So I don't know if you haven't done that yet. If you did donate, I don't know what you're waiting for. You just need to go ahead and do that. But yeah, she didn't come out and apologize herself. The parents came out, sat there on the Today Show to give an apology, and now they're using their attorney to come out to read a statement of apology. And a lot of people are saying F her apology. I just feel that this situation, I know a lot of African American people, especially women, are really, really pissed off with Carlee for what she did. I'm not saying you don't have the right to feel how you're feeling, but you can't think that because she did what she did, authorities now are not going to do their jobs at all to find a missing Black woman. I don't know if you all heard that story. It happened several months ago about this young lady. She was kidnapped and held in a white man's basement somewhere in the Midwest. I can't remember the state that it happened in, but I guess she was on her way to work or something like that. And this man kidnapped her, took her, was held her up in a basement in his house, chained up like an animal, and was, you know what he was doing to her. And I don't even want to say it. But one morning she was able to break out. I believe she said that he went to take her son to school. And that's how crazy people are. He had his son there, a little kid, possibly in elementary school, maybe middle, but I think possibly in elementary school. Took the kid to school, walked the dog, and she was able to bust out of the basement by the grace of God. And she went to a neighbor's house who happened to be another white person and was saying, please help me. This man, he kidnapped me. He was holding me up in his basement. They arrested the man. You know, this person, they contacted the authorities, but that African-American woman, I don't know if she just didn't have any friends or family. It sounds like she didn't really. And if she did, I don't know if they just were not contacting the authorities and the authorities were not really taking things seriously. But I brought that situation up to say, Carlee Russell isn't going to change the trajectory of authorities doing their job when it comes to missing African-American women. What she did didn't help, but honestly, I don't think it's going to hurt, because unfortunately, you have some people who are on these jobs as policemen, sheriffs, the authorities that handle the law, that don't want to do their jobs, period. And then you have some that are absolutely serious about it and they do their due diligence. You really cannot think that Carlee Russell is going to change the situation, because that stuff was happening before Carlee Russell and it'll happen after Carlee Russell. She will get what's coming to her. And if she thought that what she was doing was going to get the man back and make things work between she and he, I mean, she was sadly mistaken, because now I believe he's gained in social media followers and he's probably got a bunch of chicks in his DMs now and all kinds of mess like that. I don't know what it is about people, but anyway, yeah, it definitely didn't help her situation. But the parents absolutely enabled her. They absolutely gave her a life of privilege. I don't know what was going through her head to think that she should be able to get away with what she was doing by contacting the police to say that she saw a white toddler look like he was walking around in some Huggies or Loves, Pampers, on the side of the road at night. And this was just going to dissolve into thin air to say, oh, we don't see the baby, so okay, let's just keep moving on. No, that would be something that they're investigating. And because she was the one that was attached to it, and they reported her as being kidnapped because of how she poorly planned this situation out, now this is her fate. So yeah, the attorney gave a statement on her behalf, but we're going to continue to see what happens with this because, my God, I am not, I don't even know what to say. I'm just not sure what the parents are going to do, but the fact that she went to Atlanta to celebrate her birthday and did all of that before she came out to respond to all of this, because they were trying to get statements from her and she was refusing to make statements. The parents were refusing to speak. So I'm assuming they were consulting with their attorney or trying to find one in the meantime, and then getting their ducks in a row before they reached out to have her make a statement and admit that she lied about this whole situation. I don't know what the parents are going to do, but I saw the story that there were so many people that were swarming their home around the time that she was going out to celebrate her birthday. So I don't know how safe they feel there now, but they're probably going to want to get out of where they are because of all of the attention that this situation has brought to their home and all that unwanted attention. But they wanted to go on the Today Show to slam critics and say how she was just so traumatized, but yet they didn't even have all of the facts yet. They really should have just waited, but they were so quick to get out there and make a statement. And yeah, I'm sure they were approached by the Today Show, but they could have declined. They didn't have to go and do it, So they decided to move forward and do that. And now this is where we stand with all of that. So I can't say I feel sorry for the parents. And I don't know. This may be something that she needs because of how she was brought up. Again, I don't know all of the facts and details of how she was brought up, but based on what I see and what I've heard, I'm assuming that she grew up in a life of privilege. And now, because of what she did, she possibly may be going to jail, and she may need to get that time to really sit and reflect. And she possibly may need to get away from her parents because she needs to grow up. She's 26 years old. She's not a little child anymore. She absolutely is extremely immature to think that you could do something like that and pull it off. But I'll say it again. Most females, not all, but most females have gone through a situation where they were dealing with some stuff with their dude and they had these crazy thoughts that went through their mind. Just most of us don't act out on them. And you really have to have somebody that you can speak to sometimes to prevent you from making those moves to go forward and do it. And it sounds like she didn't have anybody to speak to prevent her from going forward and doing what she did. So now this is her fate. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.